My phone rang at 2 in the morning. My wife never calls this late. I was sitting in the hospital locker room after working for 18 hours straight. My hands were shaking from being tired. I almost didn't pick up. Marlo? You okay? Nothing. Just quiet. Then I heard cars in the background, people talking far away, a door beeping open somewhere. She didn't mean to call me. Her phone did it by mistake. I was about to hang up, then I heard her voice. I can't keep lying to him anymore, Kat. The doctor said I have 6 to 8 months, maybe less. I stopped breathing. 6 to 8 months. Doctor? Lying to him. My heart started beating so loud I could hear it in my ears. My hand froze on the phone. I couldn't move. You didn't see what happened to him when Isabel died, Marlo said. Her voice was shaking. It took 3 years before he could even say her name. He still wakes up screaming at night. I can't put him through that again. Isabel, my first wife. She died 10 years ago when our baby was born. The baby died too. I almost died after that. Not from being sick, from wanting to die. Marlo knew. She'd seen me at my worst. Found me on the bathroom floor once with pills in my hand. I told her I was just tired. She never believed me. When are you going to tell him? That was Katerina, Marlo's best friend from the hospital where she used to work. After Christmas, Marlo said. I want one more good holiday, one more time where they don't look at me like I'm already dead. They, our kids. Soraya is 9, Cassian is 6. My hands started shaking so bad I almost dropped the phone, but I couldn't hang up. Something inside me needed to hear everything. What about the kids? Kat asked. What's going to happen to Soraya and Cassian? Valencia's taking them, my sister. We've been working it all out. Thorn won't be able to take care of them alone when I'm gone. He'll fall apart. I know he will. The room started spinning. My wife was dying. She'd been hiding it. And she was planning to take my kids away because she thought I was too weak to handle it. But the worst part? I didn't even know what was killing her yet. Before we continue with this story, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now, because what I'm about to tell you will change how you see love, sacrifice, and what it really means to save someone. And drop a comment below. What time is it where you're watching from? What city? I want to know who's here with me right now. Now let's get back to the story. I kept the phone pressed against my ear. I couldn't move. I just listened. It's stage 4, Kat. Pancreatic cancer. It spread to my liver. Marlo's voice cracked. They found it 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks. She'd known for 6 weeks. The doctor said 6 to 8 months if I do treatment. Maybe 2 or 3 if I don't. My legs felt weak. I slid down the locker until I was sitting on the floor. Where does Thorn think you go every Tuesday and Thursday? Kat asked. Volunteering at the old hospital. That's what I tell him. Marlo laughed, but it sounded broken. I've been going to chemo alone. You're the only one who knows. I thought about all those Tuesdays, all those Thursdays, coming home and asking how her day was, her smile, her lies. What about Valencia? Kat said. Does your sister know? She knows everything. We've been meeting with lawyers, working out custody papers for Soraya and Cassian. My chest felt like someone was crushing it. You're giving your kids to Valencia? Kat sounded angry. Thorn is their father. Thorn won't be able to take care of them, not after I'm gone. Marlo was crying now. I found him with a bottle of sleeping pills 6 months after Isabel died, just sitting on the bathroom floor holding them. He said he was tired, but I knew he wanted to die too. I remembered that night, the darkness, the wanting it all to stop. So you're just going to take his kids away? I'm protecting them, all of them. Marlo took a shaky breath. I've already written the goodbye letters, one for each year they'll grow up without me. Soraya gets hers on her 10th birthday, Cassian on his 7th, every birthday until they're 18. My throat closed up. I planned my funeral, picked the music, wrote what I want people to say. I took money out of our savings and set up trust funds they'll get when they're 21. Marlo, And I'm going to start pushing him away, make him angry at me, pick fights, be cold, so when I die, he'll feel relief instead of grief. It's the only way he'll survive this. You need to tell him the truth. After Christmas, I want one more perfect Christmas. Pictures with the tree, Soraya's face when she opens presents, Cassian believing in Santa one more year. Then I'll tell him in January. I couldn't breathe right. Everything felt fuzzy and sharp at the same time. Then I heard Marlowe gasp. "Oh God, Cat, my phone, the call, it's still—" "Thorn?" Her voice was right there, close, scared. "Thorn, are you there? Oh God, how long have you been listening?" My voice came out rough. 6 weeks. You've known for 6 weeks. I can explain. I was going to tell you. I just needed time to— You have cancer? I stood up. My whole body was shaking. Stage 4? And you were planning to take my children? I'm trying to save you. Save me? By lying? By dying alone? By taking Soraya and Cassian? Thorn, please. I'm coming home. Don't you dare leave that house. I hung up. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. I'm a surgeon. I fix people. I've held hearts in my hands and made them beat again. But how do you fix this? How do you fix someone who's already dying? How do you fix a lie this big? I grabbed my keys and ran. The whole drive home I kept thinking about what else she wasn't telling me. What else had she planned without me? What other secrets was I about to find out? I got home at 3:30 in the morning. The living room light was on. Marlowe sat on the couch. Her face was white. Her eyes were red and puffy. She looked small and scared. Upstairs, our kids were sleeping. They had no idea their whole world was about to break. "Show me," I said. "Show me everything." Her hands shook as she pulled out a folder from under the couch cushion. She'd been hiding it there this whole time, right under where I sit every night. She gave it to me. Medical records, CT scans, doctor's notes. I read them like I read charts at work, cold, focused, looking for answers. Stage 4 pancreatic adenocarcinoma, metastatic lesions in liver, poor prognosis, palliative care recommended. The words blurred together. "Why?" My voice came out louder than I meant. "Why would you hide this from me?" "Because I know you." She was crying hard now. "I know what losing Isabel did to you. That was 10 years ago. You still have nightmares. I hear you crying in the shower when you think I can't hear." She wiped her face. "I found you on the bathroom floor with those pills. You looked at me and said you were just tired, but I knew you wanted to die too." I felt like she'd punched me in the stomach. "You think I'd rather lose you without fighting?" I could barely get the words out. "You think I want to miss our last 6 months because you decided I'm too broken to handle it? I was giving you a future." She stood up. "Valencia would take Soraya and Cassian. You could start over, meet someone new, be happy again." "Stop!" I grabbed her shoulders. Not hard, just to make her look at me. "You don't get to make that choice for me." We both collapsed, right there on the floor, crying and holding each other. "Tell me everything," I said when I could talk again. "From the start." She told me. Her back hurt 4 months ago. She thought it was stress, lost weight, thought she needed to eat better. Then the pain got so bad she went to the emergency room 6 weeks ago. That's when they found it. "Katerina drives me to chemo every Tuesday and Thursday. I tell you I'm volunteering, but I'm sitting in a chair with poison dripping into my veins. Every Tuesday, every Thursday. While I was at work saving other people's lives, my wife was dying alone." "What did your doctor say?" "Dr. Pargeter. She said surgery won't work. The cancer is too far gone. Chemo might give me 6 to 8 months. Without it, maybe 2 or 3. Pargeter is good, but she plays it safe. My brain was working now. Doctor brain, surgeon brain. I'm calling Rivka Solomon tomorrow. Thorn. Dr. Solomon runs experimental treatment trials. If there's anything that can help you, she'll know. I've made peace with— Well, I haven't." I pulled her closer. "I lost Isabel because her body just stopped working. I had no choice, no options, nothing I could do." My voice broke. "But you're not dying without a fight, not this time." She cried into my shoulder. I held her and felt how thin she'd gotten, how much weight she'd lost, how long she'd been suffering alone. We went to bed, but I couldn't sleep. I just lay there watching her breathe, counting each breath like it might be one of her last. I had Dr. Solomon's number in my phone. I'd call first thing in the morning. But what if there was nothing she could do? What if the cancer had already won? What if I was about to hear there was no hope at all? Dr. Rivka Solomon didn't waste time. 2 days later, we sat in her office, and she laid it all out. "This is bad. Very bad." She pointed at Marlowe's scans on the computer screen. "Standard treatment might give you 6 to 8 months, but it won't cure you." My hand found Marlowe's under the table. Her fingers were ice cold. "Is there anything else?" I asked. "Anything at all?" Dr. Solomon leaned back in her chair. "There's a clinical trial, experimental. It combines immunotherapy with targeted radiation and something called an autologous cell transplant." "What are the results?" "In stage 4 patients like your wife, we've seen 40% get significant tumor reduction, 12% go into complete remission." 12%. It wasn't much, but it was something. "What's the catch?" Marlowe asked. Her voice was barely a whisper. "The treatment destroys your immune system, completely wipes it out." Dr. Solomon folded her hands. "You'd need a bone marrow transplant to rebuild it. We'd need cells from someone whose tissue is a perfect match." "Like a donor?" I said. "Exactly. Usually a sibling works best, or sometimes a child." The room got very quiet. "I don't have siblings. My parents died years ago." Dr. Solomon looked at both of us. "What about your children?" My stomach dropped. "You want to test our kids?" I heard my voice shake. "Soraya is 9, Cassian is 6. The procedure for donors is generally safe, but there are risks. About 15% of pediatric donors have some kind of complication, infection, problems with anesthesia, bleeding." "No!" Marlowe stood up fast. The chair scraped against the floor. "Absolutely not. I won't risk my daughter's life to save mine." "Marlowe," I started. "I said no." Dr. Solomon didn't look away. "Think about this carefully. If you don't try, Soraya loses her mother in 6 months, guaranteed. If you do try and she's a match, there's a 40% chance we significantly reduce the tumors, 12% chance you survive this." "What if she's in that 15%? Marlowe's voice cracked. "What if something goes wrong and I have to live knowing I killed my own child trying to save myself?" "What if she's in the 85% who walk out fine?" Dr. Solomon said quietly. "What if she's the reason you get to watch your children grow up?" I felt torn in half. The surgeon part of my brain saw the numbers, saw the logic, saw the chance. But the father part saw my little girl on an operating table, saw all the things that could go wrong. "We could test them first, both kids, see if either one is even a match, then we decide." Marlowe turned to me. "You want to do this?" "I want information. Then we choose together." Dr. Solomon wrote something down. "You have 1 week to decide. After that, the window closes. The cancer is moving fast." We walked to the car in silence. I unlocked the doors. We got in, and then Marlowe broke. "I can't ask her to do this." She sobbed so hard her whole body shook. "I can't ask our 9-year-old daughter to save my life." I held her while she cried. The testing was already scheduled for tomorrow morning. In 3 days, we'd know if Soraya or Cassian was a match. But what if one of them was? What if we had to choose between watching Marlowe die or putting our child at risk? And what if we made the wrong choice? That night, we called the kids downstairs. They came running down in their pajamas. Cassian jumped on the couch. "Are we in trouble?" Marlowe tried to smile, but her face was all wrong. "No, baby. We just need to talk about something important." Soraya stood in the doorway. She looked at me, then at her mom, then back at me. "Mom's been sick, hasn't she?" Soraya said quietly. "I've heard her throwing up in the mornings." My throat felt tight. Our 9-year-old daughter had known something was wrong this whole time. Marlowe patted the couch. "Come sit with us." They both climbed up. Cassian wiggled into Marlowe's lap. Soraya sat next to me, her small hand finding mine. I have something in my body called cancer. It's like bad cells that are making me very sick. But doctors can fix it, right? Cassian looked at me. Daddy's a doctor. He fixes people. I had to look away. I wish I could fix this, buddy, but this kind of sick is very hard to treat. Are you going to die? Soraya's voice cracked. Nobody said anything. The silence felt heavy and awful. I might, Marlowe finally said. Tears ran down her face. But we're going to try very hard to fight it. Soraya started crying. Then Cassian did too, even though I don't think he understood why. They both climbed onto us, and we all just held each other. Can I help? Soraya said through her tears. Is there something I can do? Marlowe and I looked at each other over the kids' heads. Maybe, but we need to talk more about it. Later that night, I tucked Cassian in. He was already half asleep. Being 6 meant the scary things didn't stick as long. Then I went to Soraya's room. She was sitting up in bed with her favorite stuffed elephant. Dad, she said, will you tell me the truth? I sat on the edge of her bed. Always. Is Mom really going to die? I thought about lying, making it easier, but she deserved the truth. Without treatment, probably yes, but there's a special treatment that might help. It's new and kind of experimental. What does it do? It would need special cells from someone whose body matches Mom's, like a perfect match. We need to test you and Cassian to see if either of you match. Her eyes got big. I could help save Mom? Maybe, if you're a match. But Soraya, the procedure would hurt a little, and there are risks. About 15 out of every 100 people who donate have problems, usually small problems, but sometimes bigger ones. She was quiet for a long time. I watched her think, watched her grow up right in front of me. If I don't do it, Mom dies for sure? She asked. We don't even know if you're a match yet. But if I am, I want to do it. Her voice was steady, strong. Mom would do it for me, so I'll do it for her. I pulled her into a hug, my brave, beautiful girl who shouldn't have to make choices like this. The testing was scheduled tomorrow morning. Results would take 3 to 5 days, and I didn't know what to hope for anymore. If Soraya was a match, I'd have to watch my 9-year-old daughter go through a dangerous procedure. If she wasn't a match, I'd have to watch my wife die. Either way, I was about to lose someone I loved. The only question was who. 3 days felt like 3 years. Every time my phone rang, my heart stopped. Every time it wasn't Dr. Solomon, I felt sick with relief and terror at the same time. Marlowe got weaker. The chemo was eating her alive from the inside. She couldn't keep food down. Her hair started falling out in clumps. On day 3, my phone rang during surgery. I scrubbed out and ran to the hallway. Thorn, I have the results. My hands went numb. And? Cassian is a partial match, not strong enough for what we need. Dr. Solomon paused. But Soraya is a perfect 10 out of 10 match. I've rarely seen compatibility this complete. I should have felt happy. Instead, all I could see was my little girl on an operating table, that 15% chance playing over and over in my head like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. I found Marlowe in our bedroom. She was lying down, too tired to sit up anymore. Soraya's a perfect match, I said. She started crying immediately. No, we can't. I won't let her. She wants to do it. She already told me. She's 9 years old. Marlowe tried to sit up, but couldn't. She doesn't understand what she's agreeing to. What if she's in the 15%? Her voice got louder. What if something goes wrong and I have to live knowing I killed my own daughter trying to save myself? What if she's in the 85%? I knelt beside the bed. What if you get to watch her grow up? What if you're there for her 16th birthday, her wedding, her kids? I'd rather die than risk her. And what about Soraya? My voice came out harder than I meant. What if she spends her whole life knowing she could have saved you, but we said no? How does that guilt shape her? I'm her mother. I'm supposed to protect her. And I'm her father and your husband. I took her hand. All I can do is give us the best chance. We both cried. There were no good answers, no right choice, just terrible options and hope. That evening, Dr. Solomon called on video. We set up the laptop in the living room. Soraya and Cassian sat with us. Dr. Solomon's face filled the screen. Soraya, your bone marrow is a perfect match for your mom. That means you can help her in a way almost nobody else can. What do I have to do? Soraya asked. We'd take some of your bone marrow. It's like the factory inside your bones that makes blood. We take a little from you and give it to your mom. Then her body uses it to fight the cancer. Will it hurt? Yes. You'd be asleep during it, so you won't feel it happening, but afterward, you'd be sore for a few days, like a really bad bruise. Dr. Solomon didn't look away. And there's about a 15% chance of complications. Most are small, some aren't. What if I don't do it? Your mom has other treatments, but they're less likely to work. Soraya turned to Marlo. Mom, do you want me to do this? I want you to be safe more than anything in the world. That's not what I asked. Soraya's voice was steady. Do you want to live? Marlo broke. More than anything, but not if it means risking you. Soraya looked at both of us, then back at Dr. Solomon on the screen. I want to do it. Mom has taken care of me my whole life. Now I get to take care of her. The surgery was scheduled for 10 days from now. 10 days to prepare, 10 days to second-guess everything, 10 days to wonder if we were making the biggest mistake of our lives. But what if we didn't try and Marlo died anyway? What then? The first 3 days were all doctors and tests. Soraya got poked and prodded. They said she was healthy enough for the surgery. Marlo started new medicine to get her body ready. It made her so sick she couldn't leave the bathroom. Her hair fell out in bigger chunks. She looked like a skeleton. Cassian kept asking why the medicine was making Mom worse instead of better. I didn't know how to explain it in a way that made sense. We took family photos, just in case. Nobody said those words out loud, but we all knew. On day 4, I woke up at midnight and Marlo wasn't in bed. I found her in Soraya's room, sitting on the floor by the bed, watching our daughter sleep, tears running down her face. What if I'm making the worst mistake of my life? She whispered. What if something happens to her? I sat down next to her. I'm scared too. I was a nurse. I've seen the complications. I've seen the 15%. Her whole body shook. I've watched parents bury their children because of surgeries that were supposed to be safe. I'm a surgeon. I know everything that can go wrong. I put my arm around her. But at least we're trying. I won't let fear steal that from us. We sat there until the sun came up, both of us watching Soraya breathe. Day 5, I found a letter on my pillow when I came home from work. Marlo was reading it, crying so hard she couldn't catch her breath. Dear Mom, it said in Soraya's careful handwriting. I know you're scared. I'm scared too, but I'm also excited because I get to help you. If something bad happens, don't feel guilty. I'm choosing this, but nothing bad will happen. I'm going to donate, you're going to get better, and we'll have so many more years together. I drew us at the beach when you're better. That's what's going to happen, I promise. Love, Soraya. At the bottom was a picture she'd drawn. All 4 of us at the beach, Marlo with her hair back, everyone smiling. Days 6 and 7 we did everything Soraya wanted. The zoo to see the elephants, movies with popcorn that Marlo couldn't eat but pretended to. Her favorite restaurant where she ordered chicken fingers and talked about how she wanted to be a doctor when she grew up. Like you, Dad, she said. I want to help people who are sick. My heart broke and filled up at the same time. Day 8, Valencia showed up at our door, Marlo's sister who'd helped plan to take my kids away. I can't believe you're letting this happen, she said. Her face was red, angry. You're risking Soraya's life. Something in me snapped. Where were you when your sister was dying alone, when she was hiding this from me? You helped her plan to take my children. Don't come here now and judge me for fighting to save her. What if something goes wrong? Then I'll live with it, but at least we tried. I stepped closer. Where were you, Valencia? When Marlo needed someone, where were you?" She left, but her words stayed, planted doubt that grew like weeds. Day 9, we met with Dr. Solomon one last time. She walked us through everything. 90 minutes of surgery. Soraya would be asleep. They'd take bone marrow from her hip bone. She'd be sore after, but should recover in a day or two. "And the risks?" I asked, even though I knew. 15% chance of complications, infection, bleeding, anesthesia problems. We'll monitor her closely. That night, we all slept in the big bed together. Me and Marlo on the outside, Soraya and Cassie in between us, holding each other like we could keep everyone safe just by staying close. But tomorrow morning, we'd have to let go. We'd have to watch Soraya walk through those doors, and nobody knew if she'd walk back out okay. We got to the hospital at 6 in the morning. None of us had slept. By 7:30, we were in the pre-op room. Soraya wore a hospital gown that was way too big. She looked so small, so young. Cassian wouldn't stop crying. He didn't understand where his sister was going or why. Marlo could barely stand. The medicine they'd been giving her made her so weak I had to hold her up. "Dad?" Soraya's voice was quiet, scared. "What if I wake up and Mom's not better?" I knelt down so we were eye to eye. "Then we keep fighting. But today, you just need to be brave for 90 minutes. Can you do that?" She nodded, but her lip was shaking. At 8 o'clock, the nurse said it was time. Marlo pulled Soraya close, both of them crying. "You are the most extraordinary person I've ever known," Marlo said. "Don't be sad, Mom. This is going to work." The nurse held out her hand. Soraya took it, started walking toward the big doors. She looked back at us one more time. "I love you all so much." Then the doors closed. I've been a surgeon for 15 years. I've watched people die on my operating table. But watching those doors close with my daughter on the other side was different. I couldn't do anything, couldn't help her, couldn't fix anything if it went wrong. The waiting room had a clock on the wall. I watched every minute tick by. Each one felt like an hour. Marlo sat next to me, too tired to even cry anymore. Cassian played with blocks on the floor. He didn't know what was happening. My friend Dash showed up. He's a nurse in the ER. "She's going to be fine," he said. I wanted to believe him. At 9:15, a nurse came out. "The procedure has begun. Everything is going smooth so far." So far. Those two words kept playing in my head. At 10:28, Dr. Solomon walked out. My heart stopped. I tried to read her face but couldn't. "The procedure is complete," she said. "We got the bone marrow. Soraya did beautifully. No complications." My legs almost gave out. At 11, we got to see her. She was pale. Her eyes were half open, but she smiled when she saw us. "Did I do good?" Marlo grabbed her hand. "You did perfect, baby. Perfect." "I'm so tired, Mom." "Sleep. You earned it." At noon, they started Marlo's transplant. I watched through a window. A bag of cells dripping into her through a tube. It looked so simple, but it was everything. Our last chance. 2 hours in, an alarm started screaming. Marlo's blood pressure was dropping. Doctors rushed in, gave her medicine, changed the drip. For 5 minutes, I stood there watching, unable to help, unable to do anything. Then her blood pressure came back up. The transplant kept going. By 2 o'clock, it was done. Dr. Solomon found me in the hall. "Now we wait," she said. "The next 48 to 72 hours are critical. We watch for infection, for her body to accept or reject the transplant, for complications." That night, Soraya was in one room. Marlo was in another. I ran back and forth between them. At 10 o'clock, Dash brought me coffee. "You need to rest." "I can't. What if something happens and I'm not there?" "Then I'll get you. I'll stay here all night." At 3 in the morning, I finally fell asleep in a chair in the hallway, right between both rooms. I dreamed about Isabel, my first wife. She stood in front of me and said, You're doing it right this time. Then someone was shaking me awake. A nurse. Her face looked scared. Mr. Ashford, you need to come quickly. It was 5:47 in the morning. My heart stopped. Something was wrong. I ran. Down the hall, through doors, my feet hitting the floor so hard it hurt. Marlowe's room was full of people in scrubs, machines screaming, and my wife shaking on the bed like something was trying to tear her apart from the inside. Cytokine storm, Dr. Solomon said without looking up. Her immune system is attacking the transplant. I tried to get in. A nurse put her hand on my chest. Sir, you need to stay back. Let us work. I watched through the glass. Marlowe's whole body jerking. Her eyes rolled back, foam at her mouth. Dash grabbed my shoulders, held me. Let them do their job. 10 minutes. 10 minutes of watching my wife die right in front of me and not being able to do anything. Then she stopped moving. The machines got quieter. Dr. Solomon came out. Her scrubs were sweaty. We stabilized her, got the reaction under control. Is she okay? The next 12 hours are critical. If we can stop another episode, she has a good chance. She looked at me hard, but her body is fighting everything right now. The transplant, the cancer, the treatment, all of it. They let me in. Marlowe had a tube down her throat breathing for her. Wires everywhere, bags of medicine dripping into her arms. I took her hand. It was cold. I'm here. You fight. You hear me? You fight. She didn't move. At 7 o'clock, I heard Soraya calling for me from down the hall. I ran to her room. Dad, where's Mom? I tried to smile. She's resting. Something went wrong. Her eyes filled with tears. Did I not save her? I pulled her close, careful of where they'd taken the bone marrow from her hip. You saved her. You gave her a chance. Now her body needs to fight. I want to see her. Kids aren't supposed to go to the ICU, but I'm a doctor here. I used that. Carried Soraya down the hall even though she could walk, even though it probably hurt her. When she saw Marlowe, her face went white. All the tubes, all the machines, the tube in her throat. But she climbed into the chair next to the bed, took her mom's hand. Mom, it's me, she said. Her voice was small but strong. I did my part, now you do yours. We waited. Me, Soraya. Dash brought Cassian later. We all sat in that room watching the monitors, watching Marlowe breathe with help from a machine. Hour 3, nothing changed. Hour 5, her fever spiked. They gave her medicine, ice packs. Hour 8, her fever started coming down. Hour 10, her heart rate got better. Her blood pressure stabilized. Hour 11, her eyes moved under their eyelids. At 11:47, her eyes opened. She looked confused, scared. Then her eyes found Soraya. Tears ran down both their faces. Mom, you're awake! Soraya squeezed her hand. You're awake! Doctors rushed in, checked the machines, checked Marlowe. Dr. Solomon looked at the screens for a long time. Too long. Was the transplant working? Was Marlowe's body accepting it or rejecting it? Would she make it through the next hour? The next day? Or had we put Soraya through all this for nothing? Dr. Solomon stared at the screens for what felt like forever. Then she smiled. Her vitals are stabilizing. The transplant is taking. She's responding. My knees gave out. I dropped into the chair next to Soraya. Soraya squeezed her mom's hand. I knew you'd fight. I knew it. Milo squeezed back. She couldn't talk because of the tube, but her eyes said everything. 2 hours later, they took the tube out. Marlo coughed. Her voice came out scratchy and raw. My brave girl. She looked at Soraya. You saved me. We saved each other, Mom. That's what families do. We all held each other. Me, Marlo, Soraya, Cassian. 4 people who almost lost everything, but didn't. The next 6 weeks were hard. Marlo started more treatment, immunotherapy that made her sick all over again. But she was fighting. Soraya healed fast. She showed everyone the scar on her hip, called it her badge of honor. We went to therapy, all of us. A doctor named Leif Hartman who helped us talk about the scary stuff, about almost dying, about being afraid. Even Valencia came and said she was sorry, that she should have helped Marlo tell the truth instead of helping her hide it. 3 months after the surgery, Marlo got a scan. The tumors had shrunk by 35%. 6 months after that, another scan, 60% smaller now. The doctors said the word remission. 1 year later, we stood on a beach. It was Soraya's 10th birthday. She wanted to come here, to the ocean. Marlo's hair had grown back, short but there. She looked healthy, strong, alive. Soraya pulled out a piece of paper, the drawing she'd made a year ago, the one she'd given her mom before the surgery. "Look," she said, "it's exactly like I drew it." She was right. All 4 of us on the beach, Marlo with her hair, everyone smiling, exactly like the picture. I thought about everything that had happened, how Marlo had tried to protect me by hiding the truth, how that almost destroyed us, how we'd learned that love isn't about protecting people from pain, it's about facing pain together. "I almost ruined everything," Marlo said quietly. She was watching the waves. "I thought I was saving you by pushing you away, but I was just making it worse." The sun started setting, orange and pink across the water. "Mom," Soraya said, "are you scared it'll come back?" Marlo didn't lie to her. "Every day, but I'm not facing that fear alone anymore." I put my arm around her. "We fight together, always." Cassian ran past us, chasing seagulls. He was 7 now, happy, the scary year already fading for him. We held hands, all of us, watching the sun go down, watching the waves come in and go out. I learned something that year. The bravest thing you can do isn't facing death without fear. It's facing death with everyone you love beside you, holding your hand, refusing to let go. Soraya taught me that. My 9-year-old daughter who chose to be brave when I was too scared to ask her to be. She taught me that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's choosing love anyway. We don't know what tomorrow brings. The cancer might come back. It might not. Marlo might have 50 more years. She might have 5. But we'll face it together, all of us, as a family. Because that's what love really is, not protecting each other from the hard things, but walking through the hard things side by side. And that's a lesson worth living for. The sun disappeared into the ocean. Soraya took a picture of all of us, the same picture she'd drawn a year ago when everything was dark and scary. But we made it. We fought. We survived. And we did it together.